We're delighted to welcome Diana Martinez Trejo, who is the JCR president at Durham University, for an interview to celebrate International Women's Day as part of our Ustinov Meets series. The theme for International Women's Day this year is Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 World, with the tagline Choose to Challenge. We're pleased to welcome Diana to speak about her experiences and career up to date. So, Diana, thank you so much for talking with us today. As part of our activities for International Women's Day, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your education and career to date?
Hi, Jean. It's a pleasure to be here. So basically, I'm Diana. I'm doing a PhD in engineering, and apart from that, I am the Ustinov GCR president at the moment. That's basically me.
You currently hold the post of Graduate Common Room President, which is short for JCR President at Ustinov College. This is now your second year in the role as you chose to stand for a second term. Can you please tell us a little bit about the role? What do you enjoy about it, and why you feel the role of the JCR is important?
So, first of all, I really love to be president. I have had the good time to experience how to manage things. So that's something that you don't learn in engineering. So it's a good way to learn some skills outside your technical environmental. And being president gives me the opportunity to talk to a lot of students, but also to a lot of staff from the university, learn more about how they manage things, how you can solve some problems. And basically, I think the GCR, or the Graduate Common Room, it's a very important body in Ustinov, because we are basically the bridge between, well, not the bridge, the way to communicate what the students need or the issues they have between the university and the college. So for us, it's like a very, very good experience just to represent all the students, to see that they are basically having the best time in Durham, if possible, despite all the circumstances, and give them as much support as we can.
Thank you. You manage your role as JCR president while also working hard for your PhD in engineering. So how do you balance two such demanding workloads and still make sure that you have time for your own well-being?
Well, that's something that you learn in the process. At the beginning, I was getting a lot of difficulties between getting sleep, eating, and do two jobs. But then you learn, like, you have to have some balance. You can't just focus on one. But also, it's not just being the president and also being a PhD student. It's also that you have to take care of yourself, watch for yourself, because if you're not okay, then you will not perform neither of those. So at the end, you have to manage your time. So that's one of the important things, and you have to do it even if you're just doing the PhD. You have to manage all your time, have some kind of schedule. Try to be flexible with the schedule. Sometimes things doesn't work the way you want it, but try to be have some balance between all the time that you spend with everything. And obviously you have to have some kind of priority. So sometimes I have deadlines for my PhD, so I have to focus on those things, and I have to shorten the time for the other things that I have to do. So I think that's basically how I juggle between everything.
Okay, thank you for sharing. I think your experience can benefit other students as well. So for our fourth question, International Women's Day 2021 focuses on women in leadership, and the slogan this year is Choose to Challenge. What does this mean to you personally and professionally?
Okay, so I'm going to start with my personal experience on that. I come from Mexico, so it's a very, very difficult part of the world to study. Just as a woman, it's very difficult because most of the times you have like a time, like an age gap So you have to either work very hard or get married. And if you're married, from where I come from, is not very well welcome. So sometimes it's like, well, I want to be more, I want to be a better person. So I think for me, I'll just choose the path of just continue with my education and everything. I come from a family that none of my, none of my other cousins or female from my family has a PhD. So I'm the first one that is trying to achieve a PhD in my family. So it's a good achievement in my family. And now professionally, that's more important. I came from Latin America. So in STEM, it's very, very difficult to see woman in there. So now coming to another country is like more and more important for us because you get more experience, you learn a lot of things that you will not learn in your country. Because the way that in another part of the world they solve one issue, maybe you never thought about this. So it gives you like the experience or it gives you the opportunity to grow on how you can solve problems, how you can see another points of view. So,
wow, thank you so much. That's very impressive. So engineering is traditionally, as you mentioned just now, an area that has been seen underrepresentation of women. What do you consider to be the main opportunities for women considering careers in engineering, and what challenges do you feel are still in place regarding more women progressing in this sector?
well, I think we have exactly the same chances as the men. It's not difficult. We are not below or above. I think we are equal. And I think if you work very hard as any other person, you will achieve whatever you wanted. Doesn't matter in which area. Then it's for cultural reasons, historical reasons. It's well known just for men because, well, in some things, the strength, some of the things that they needed, but that doesn't mean that you can't make a degree on STEM. So it's basically you just have to work as anybody else, and sometimes you have to go against some stigmas that in your country or in the culture is still very in the roots, but it's something that it is not bad. It's just that it's something new, and we can change that.
Thank you very much. You have power in yourself. So as a powerful woman, what advice would you give to girls currently considering educational or career options and thinking about engineering as an option?
I would say that just keep going. Don't follow anybody that says you can't do it. It doesn't matter. If you really want to do it, just go for it. And it's gonna be difficult sometimes because of the culture and the background. But if you fight for it, you will get it. It will be difficult for sure, but you just have to keep going.
Thank you so much for encouraging us. So as the final question, if you could talk to yourself when you were 21, knowing what you know now, what advice would you give yourself?
Oh boy, I would say to myself, keep fighting. Basically, keep fighting. I think I was finishing my undergraduate, so it was very difficult in my career while I was doing my undergraduate. In my generation, we were like 30 women in the whole generation of the whole careers. So it was like very few women in there, and it was very, very difficult to be in a place which it was dominated by men. So it was very challenging. So yes, I think I was said to me, keep fighting. You can do it. You will end up in UK. In my country, it's like in that time when I was studying, it was very difficult to be a woman and studying in there because most even of your peers just saw it like you don't belong here. And then sometimes they even said like, oh, you're not even gonna finish your career because you're a woman. You're gonna end up married because you're gonna get pregnant. And it's like, why? Why do you think that like that? I'm also a person that I want to be as successful as you. So it was very difficult sometimes to just hear how these people just try to undermine you and underestimate you. It's like, no, just forget what they say. Just put a barrier in here and just like forget it. Just continue your path.
Oh, thank you so much for your sharing. I believe, including myself, I believe a lot of girls and women will resonate with your experience and keep on going. So that's all my questions for today. Thank you so much for joining us today and providing us with such insightful and engaging responses to our questions. It has been a pleasure to speak with you today.
Thank you very much, Lee.
Thank you very much.